This week on Dine Drink CLE, the podcast. If you live in Northeast Ohio, I would be shocked to find that you haven't heard about the eclipse happening on April 8th. It's going to be a huge day in town for everything. And
Solar and Lunar Punchki from Rudy's Strudel, and Eclipse Ahoy from Malley's, which are a Chips Ahoy cookie with some chocolate and white chocolate. And I know Alex has learned about some Jenny's ice cream.
The two interesting things about that particular beer are that it's brewed with Galaxy hops, which I thought was really
touch.
clever.
I see what they did
Celestial.
there.
Right? Yes, celestial indeed. And then Cosmic Punch yeast. So, yeah.
I'm Josh Duke.
And I'm Alex Darus.
And you're either watching or listening to Dine Drink CLE, the podcast, where each and every week we're going to be joined by cleveland.com's best and brightest food experts, insiders, and influencers, talking all things food and drink here in the Cleveland scene, which we kind of have a big
There's not
set
that
of
much
events
going on
coming
in Cleveland these days.
Oh, yeah, no, not at
in
all.
April. On April 8th, it's going to be a really slow day around town, I think.
Pretty slow. So, yeah, go ahead and give it away.
We have the eclipse. If you live in Northeast Ohio, I would be shocked to find that you haven't heard about the eclipse happening on April 8th. It's going to be a huge day in town for everything. And as these huge events kind of lend themselves to, it goes into the food and drink world. So we have plenty of things to talk about. But Are you looking forward to the eclipse, Josh?
Oh, absolutely. I think the biggest thing for me is just the fact that it's a once-in-a-lifetime event. So I'm not quite sure when the last total solar eclipse hit Cleveland or Ohio, but I know there won't be another one until like 2099.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty significant event. So obviously we're going to have tourists flooding our streets. So, and we got to tell them where to go to eat.
Yeah, I mean, and it's the Guardians opening day that day. The women's Final Four is that weekend. I know there's just a lot of reasons for people who aren't usually here to travel in Cleveland, and it's like the eclipse is 3 minutes. You got a lot of other time to eat and drink and explore the city. So where do you plan on watching the eclipse?
Well, I will be, it's not a foodie destination, but I will be at the Great Lakes Science Center. They are having a pretty big eclipse fest that whole weekend, plus the eclipse day. There's also going to be like a very big deal, lots of activities on their front lawn. Just a lot going on there in the downtown area.
Place to be. Yeah, I know a lot of other bars and restaurants, especially in the flats. There seems to be a lot of watch parties. I know I'm thinking about Punch Bowl Social. They have a great rooftop for watching. I know not in the flats, but Studio West 117th in Lakewood. They have a great rooftop. There's the outside patio at the Aviator by the airport. There's a lot of places to go watch. It's like almost like you could just type in your favorite restaurant in Cleveland into Google and put eclipse party after it.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. They are revealing watch party after watch party after watch party every single day leading up to the eclipse. So I wouldn't be surprised if the list of places that aren't offering a watch party is smaller than the list that are.
Yeah, and I feel like if they're open on April 8th before 5 p.m., because I think the path of totality for the eclipse starts at like 3:13 and it's almost 4 minutes. So I feel like if a bar or restaurant's open around that time, like it's a watch party. You go outside, then it's a watch party and you're drinking or eating with it.
And the funny part is all of them, or 90% of them anyway, are probably going to have a transition from eclipse watch party to Guardians home opener, which is crazy.
For real. No, that's like, you could have a whole, I know a lot of people are not working on Monday just because there is so much to do. And kind of part of that too is with the drinks and everything. There's a lot to talk about. There's a lot of Eclipse beers being released. There's an Eclipse whiskey coming out. There's a lot of different stuff being released in honor of celebrating this big celestial event. So
yeah, and it'll be popping off at, I think, 3:13.
3:13,
and it'll be about 3 minutes and 50 seconds of total eclipse in the sky. So
and you got to get your glasses.
Yeah, I guess we got to hope that the weather cooperates.
I
right
know
now.
we can start. Well, yeah, that's going to be all these roof watch parties and stuff. That's going to be a bummer if not.
Yeah, it'll be funny if like it's just complete overcast. But you guys all came to Cleveland. Maybe you don't get to see the eclipse in the sky, but you can enjoy some restaurants.
Yeah, and honestly, if you haven't, because I know everyone's kind of scrambling this week to get the eclipse glasses. I know a lot of the different parties that I saw. I want to say Twist Social Club,
Mm-hmm.
a few others. They're giving out glasses at the party. So it's
Yeah.
like just go to the bar watch parties and then you get your glasses and
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah, but at cleveland.com, obviously we've been sharing all the happenings with the eclipse, so we can tell you where to go, where to find the glasses, where to
What
watch it,
to
and when.
drink while you watch it.
Yeah, what to drink, exactly. Well, I know that aside from parties and celebrations to watch the eclipse, of course, there's going to be a lot of companies and organizations creating eclipse-themed sweets and treats, and who better to talk about that than Paris Wolfe?
Well, thank you, Josh. Some of the treats that we've come across in the last couple of days are punchki, solar and lunar punchki from Rudy's Strudel, and Eclipse Ahoy from Malley's, which are a Chips Ahoy cookie with some chocolate and white chocolate. And I know Alex has learned about some Jenny's ice cream.
Yeah, there's a lot of treats going on. I guess with Rudy's, what is the difference between the solar and lunar versions?
One has vanilla buttercream and the other one has chocolate buttercream.
Delish.
And then they're reversed on the outside with whatever kind of frosting drizzle is on them.
Smart. I love that. I love that theming. It feels like with the Malley's chocolate, Chips Ahoy or Eclipse Ahoy cookie.
Yes.
They're gonna also have like a sort of a light and a dark. The bottom layer, I think, is dark chocolate, or the top layer is milk chocolate. How is that
However you
themed?
sit them down on the
Gotcha.
table.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like you flip
Yeah.
it. And is Rudy's only going to do the punchkis on
They're
April?
only going to do them over Friday and Saturday. They're closed on Sunday and Monday.
Oh.
So you have to pick them up before the eclipse.
Yeah, there you go.
Stock up while you can.
Jenny's is coming out with, which is a Columbus-based ice cream company. They have like 4 different flavors, I think. There's like a super moon berry. There's one that tastes like cereal milk, and then I know they came out with a topping that's kind of like their version of a Pop Rocks a little bit. Like it's like supposed to kind of spark in your mouth kind of thing.
I guess it's supposed to represent what, the stars or something?
Yeah, it's like the Big Bang of it all.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I know they have a Chagrin Falls scoop shop, and they're doing on Eclipse Day, April 8th. You can go in and get special scoops with the topping for free and stuff. But
You know what would be good though? Having this ice cream, the punchki, and the cookies, man. I mean,
you might be onto something combining them all into one.
yeah, I know Rudy Strudel. Props to them for committing to not being open on Eclipse Day because
Well, actually, it's kind of, which I think you would probably know just from reporting about food and stuff, is a lot of restaurants are closed on Mondays, like a ton.
In general, restaurants are closed on Mondays, but there are some that stay open so their industry friends can have a place to go on their day off.
Well, yeah, and I think like with the eclipse too, it's like if you are typically closed on Monday, a lot of people are tempted or probably opening because it's like too good of an opportunity to miss.
they could have done a second punchki day, a second Fat Tuesday, and the line would be out the door from 3 a.m. till whenever again.
Get the Miss Dingus Day ladies there since they're won't be busy from Dingus
True.
Day is over.
Yeah,
And
put them to work.
yeah,
Right.
put them to work. Is there anything, I know you also recently wrote a story about hosting for the eclipse. Do you have any kind of tips for if people have people coming in from out of town?
Well, the people who are guests should let you know when they're planning to arrive and leave. Bring your own eclipse glasses, but on the other hand, the hosts should also have eclipse glasses ready. Just make sure somebody has them.
Yeah. Is there anything you would suggest people make like at home?
Food wise, chocolate cake with vanilla white buttercream frosting.
There you go.
That would be my suggestion.
Yeah, I'm like, what-
Round.
Yeah, very easy
Round.
eclipse themed treat to make. Yeah.
I'm thinking maybe I'm still stuck in Easter. I'm like, you could make a black deviled egg. It sounds disgusting. It really is. It's kind of funny though, just as we've been reporting and talking about it, that all the eclipse food things are desserts. It's like, seems more,
It's easier to
it's
do
Yeah.
like
than a
easier
pastry,
to
yeah.
do something
Yeah.
like that. Lots of stuff. I know I definitely want to go get some punchki this weekend before, and then maybe they'll last till Monday.
Have you had the punchki?
I've had them during Mardi Gras.
The
Fat
eclipse?
Tuesday.
I'm sorry.
Not the eclipse
Okay.
ones, no.
No, they're special.
Gotcha. And when were they
They're
available?
going to be available on Friday and Saturday.
Cool.
Yeah, lots of stuff. I don't know what else.
I think we're good.
I think that's literally it.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Let's wait. Just wait for a second.
Yeah.
Let me think of.
What are you guys doing for the eclipse? Are you going anywhere?
Yeah, I guess Paris. What are you doing for the?
My plan was to go to Holden Arboretum and take advantage of the hiking and the food trucks. But I'm starting to get a little worried about the traffic. I don't want to be stuck for 2 hours trying to get home, which is only 10 minutes away.
Yeah.
What are you guys doing?
I don't know. My parents live in Lorain County, so it seems to be like where you're supposed to. I might just post up in their backyard. But like I said, I was thinking about going to the flats or something, one of the rooftops, and checking it out. And you said you're going to be at the Science Center.
Yeah, Science Center, and I'm sure I'm going to get trapped there for a while, but...
Yeah, what time are you going to get there?
I'm going to probably have to get there at least by 10 a.m., I would imagine.
Wow.
I don't know, though.
Easy.
Well,
Easy
make
10
sure
a.m.
you bring some Eclipse Ahoys to snack on while you sit there and wait all day.
Yeah. Someone should buy them online and just be selling them in a stand there.
Honestly, that would be really smart because today we're recording this on Monday, which is Dingus Day. People were selling out of the trunks of their cars the Pussy Willows for $5.
Yeah.
For a whole one for $5. I'm like, they are making so much money today.
Yeah.
You could sell the Eclipse glasses. You could sell the beers.
Yeah, there's going to be tons of people out there. Oh, yeah, maybe not the
Legally,
beers. Probably
you
not
can.
legally.
But other things, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely buy some Eclipse Ahoy cookies for sure if I was out there.
Yeah. So
And they were available.
plenty to look forward to this Monday, April 8th. Don't forget your glasses and your Eclipse beers. And now we're joined by Marc Bona and Chakerian, and we're going to talk a little bit about Eclipse drinks. So, hi, guys.
Hey, Alex.
Hey.
Yeah, Marc. So I know a lot of breweries are doing Eclipse beers this year. So why don't you tell us a little bit about what people should opt to drink April 8th?
Yeah, we knew this was coming several months ago. The breweries jumped on this as they always do. Market Garden in downtown Cleveland teamed up with Heinen's on Totality. This is a West Coast style IPA, so it's going to be a little hoppier than normal. Average alcohol range, it's around 6 to 7. Those guys have teamed up before, and it's always a fun pairing. Their neighbor, Great Lakes Brewing Company, is out with 2 of a vanilla blackout stout and 3:13 p.m. Schwartz beer, which might be my favorite named beer. 3:13 p.m. for the time of Totality here in Northeast Ohio. And then Schwartz beer. Schwartz is German for black, which I think is a nice little nod. That's a lager, and it'll look heavy and big, but it should be lighter in body. And then finally, Thirsty Dog in Akron is making a Solar Eclipse Vienna Lager. This also did not surprise me because John Nayway at Thirsty Dog has hooked up with so many different people and events and places over the years for beers. As we know, he collaborated with Dante Bacuzzi on Heaven and Hellas, which I always thought was another great name. There's so many great names for beers in this area.
Oh, that's a good job to
And
name the beers.
Yeah, I mean, they've done a lot. They have a deal with Gervasi Vineyards. They make beer for them. They make beer for hospitality restaurants, Rosewood Red, which is another nice sipper, and a few other ones. So we've got at least those 3 in terms of just the beer in this area. And I know Pete's quite the connoisseur, and I think you've had a couple of them.
I've had quite a few of them, actually. The Cleveland Eclipse beer that didn't get mentioned, there was a collaboration with Sibling Revelry and Ross Beverage, and they put out an orange lager, which I understand now is gone.
Oh, wow.
So, but if you had some, it was quite enjoyable, very quaffable, light orange lager, around 5.5%. Really, really solid. The Market Garden collab I had some of yesterday during Easter. I really enjoyed that a lot. It's a West Coast style IPA. Definitely has notes of peach and passion fruit. You get a little guava in the notes too, but not as piney, more on the citrus side, a little bit tropical, really delicious. And the two interesting things about that particular beer are that it's brewed with Galaxy hops, which I thought was really
Nice touch.
clever.
I see what they did
Celestial.
there.
Right? Yes, celestial indeed. And then Cosmic Punch yeast. So, yeah, everybody's clever and
Yeah.
creative, and I love it.
I was surprised they're not all like stouts. You know, it seems like the easy gimmicky thing, but there's a lot of different styles, it seems, with the Eclipse beers.
Definitely. And the Blackout Stout, I just enjoyed the Great Lakes Brewing Company. It's very similar to their standard Blackout, and the vanilla is very subtle, not too overwhelming, and that's exactly how you would want it. So really enjoyable. I'm excited about that Schwartz beer, though. That sounds really fantastic. I love a good black lager, so I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, and that's kind of cool because it does have the visual effect, too, without being a heavy beer.
Right. And what was the beer you said that was light orange? You said that's off the shelves now?
If it's not off the shelves, it's pretty close. It was a collaboration between Sibling Revelry Brewery in Westlake and the Ross Beverage
In Lakewood?
people. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you just can't stare at that too long, right?
No,
Oh.
not at all.
Did you have a particular favorite out of the group you tried, or was it kind of for different occasions?
I liked all of them for very different reasons. Generally speaking, I tend to lean more towards citrusy IPAs. The piney ones, the ones that taste like you're sort of chewing on an evergreen tree or something, are just not for me. But I know a lot of people really enjoy those. Blackout Stout was exactly what I expected it to be, so that was quite good. And that orange lager was something. It really it was very, very light. Much in the way that you would enjoy like a lime lager during the summer. It was very subtle, sort of underneath the radar.
That sounds delicious. It's
It
like a
was
Blue
really
Moon
good.
without adding the orange. Not really.
Exactly.
But
That's a little bit like what I'm thinking.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mark, what other drink outside of the beer realm, what other Eclipse-related drink news do you have on your radar?
Well, Applebee's, of all places, is actually doing what they call the Perfect Eclipse Margarita. It is definitely not your run-of-the-mill margarita, where, a margarita has tequila, triple sec, and I want to say lime. However, this has a few different things in: lemon, lime, passion fruit, citronge, orange liqueur, and it has a premium tequila, Patron Silver. So that, if you're into margaritas, that one sounds very intriguing. And then also on the wine front, the North Coast Wine Club, which is a pretty neat club. A lot of local people got together years ago, and they decided to buy. They're based in Solon, and they decided to buy grapes from all over the world. They bring the grapes in, and they do all the winemaking, the crushing, bottling, everything at their club headquarters in Solon.
Oh, that's cool.
They are making a wine called Eclipse. It's made with grapes all from the Grand River Valley here in Ohio. So it's a red blend. It's not just the wine. They're having a party. They're going to serve lasagna. Their new members are always welcome, and it's a lot of fun. They're a really good group. And the only other drink I know is actually back to the beers is, I know, Pete, you and I had a slightly different opinion on the Bell's Oberon Eclipse. I really like that. You were a little less in favor of it.
I had a couple more after we talked about it because I wanted to revisit it. I think I like it a lot more now than I did maybe on first glance. It's got a bit of a bubblegummy thing coming off of the palate with the yeast that they use, which is not a favorite thing for me, like on that flavor profile side of things. But on the whole, I do really like it.
The Bell's Oberon is an all year round beer usually, right? And then they released an Eclipse version.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, that's essentially it. Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Well, I know also on my end, which also isn't local, but Casey Jones Distillery in Kentucky, they're a distillery down there. They made a Eclipse bourbon and moonshine. They did it back in 2017 when they were actually in the path of totality. But I know now it's cutting it close. But if you want to order some Eclipse moonshine to drink on the day, you might miss the Eclipse if you drink too much of it. And also, I put together too for cleveland.com. If you're staying home and having an Eclipse party, there's tons of fun little space-themed cocktails you can make at home with different spirits. I know one that just comes to mind is Mount Gay Eclipse Rum, which is in the name, but they have a lot of fun space-themed cocktails that are fun to drink on the Eclipse Day. So, I mean, I think in Cleveland, as we know from Dingus Day talking last week, we don't need much of an excuse to drink, but the Eclipse seems like a great reason. So thanks so much for watching or listening to Dine Drink CLE, the podcast. Make sure to like, subscribe, and rate us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever else you get your podcast. Follow us on Instagram at Dine Drink Cleveland and subscribe to our newsletter at cleveland.com/newsletters. Thanks.